Today we're going to be doing a smart home makeover on my outdoor balcony. We're going to be using Home Depot's Hubspace smart home platform for this makeover, which lets you set up, manage, and control all of your smart home devices from one single app. We're going to start things off strong with these string lights, and because they have the Powered by Hubspace logo on the box, we know they're going to work. Them all unboxed and unraveled here, then we're going to plug them in so we can connect them to our smart home. This is one of my favorite parts about Hubspace. All you need to do is open up the app, scan the QR code on the device, and the setup is done. You don't need to do anything else. It takes under 60 seconds to set up a device. Now that we got them all connected, we're going to run them outside and hang them up. I'm so happy with how these turned out. Not only can I turn them off in the Hubspace app, but I can also change the color, which is really cool. Next up is this smart pathway light I found. One of my favorite parts about Hubspace is they have so many different types of devices. It's not just boring old smart lights and smart plugs. With things like this pathway light available, you're really able to get creative and make your smart home truly yours. We'll get that all set up in the app, and there we go. We're ready to control it in Hubspace. Next, I got these outdoor RGB LED strips and got them all connected up. What I want to try to do is run them underneath the railing here. I actually got this adhesive built into it, so I'm just going to use that and stick them under. These also turned out really well, and the balcony's really all starting to come together now. For one final touch, I'm going to add this outdoor smart plug. Even though I don't have anything to plug into it now, I want to make sure that no matter what, whenever I add anything new to my balcony, I'm going to have control over it in Hubspace. And just like that, the balcony is done. I'm so happy with how this turned out, and it was really easy to set up in my smart home. Having all of the devices available control under one single app is just so nice. And even better, if I want to add more devices in the future, all I need to do is look for that Powered by Hubspace logo, and I'll be able to add them in seamlessly. If you want to check out Hubspace for yourself, I'll have a link to them in my profile, or you can head down to your local Home Depot and browse the devices in person. Thank you to Hubspace for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching it. I hope you guys have a great day. Come with me while I take this scrappy electronics project that I built over a weekend and attempt to turn it into an actual product. If you didn't see my last few videos on it, this is Info Orbs. It's a Wi-Fi connected display widget. It currently displays things like stock prices, the time, and the weather, but the idea is you can program this to pretty much do anything you want. After using this thing for a while and posting about it, I realized that this is something actually pretty cool that people might want, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to get it into your guys' hands. And the first 2 weeks of this journey has been pretty crazy, and I'm learning so much. First decision I made was to open source the code for this. Basically what that means is the code is entirely public, anybody could download it, anybody could edit it. This is really good for this project for a few different reasons. One, that means people could build their own, and two, that means that the community can all contribute and build their own custom widgets and share them amongst everybody. Now, learning to do that alone was a huge task. For context, I've never used GitHub before. If you don't know what GitHub is, it's like the industry standard for how people share code with one another. So I needed to onboard onto that. I then started up a Discord channel for all the people working to develop on this, and I found some crazy smart people, and we kind of got to work working on the code for this thing. Long story short, the code that I wrote is not very good because I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're kind of rewriting the engine that runs this thing so we can make it super scalable. But the other really exciting part were these. These are called PCBs. You've definitely seen one of these before. A PCB is basically like the circuit board that all electronics connect onto. It replaces a whole bunch of wires and makes assembling things super easy. With the Info Orbs project I had of the prototype, the wiring was a mess. So having this is gonna make it much easier to build. But this is what I came out with, and I did a few cool things that I'm pretty proud of. One of them is making these little feet. These feet are made out of PCBs and they slot on the end here, so the whole thing can stand on its own without a case or anything, but of course you can 3D print a case or whatever. And then it all assembles where you just solder your screens right onto the board. You solder the ESP. This is like the chip that powers everything. And then there's a little USB port for power here, just as a creature comfort. And like, if we look at the before and after, this is the prototype, mess of wires, board hanging down everywhere. It works, but like, yeah, no thank you. And you compare it to this, I am so proud of how this turned out, honestly. It is so super clean, functions really well, the stand works well, there's a little integrated button so you can switch the screen. I'm over the moon about this. Learning how to design these PCBs was one of the coolest things I've done in a really long time. If you guys want to learn more about that, I'm happy to make a video on it, but I won't bore you with it for now. So I plan to kind of roll this out in a few different phases. Now, the first stage of this is going to be available in like less than a month, and it's going to be through selling something called dev kits. Basically what you're going to be able to buy is all of the parts to build this. That includes the PCB, that includes 5 of the screens, that includes the ESP that powers it. You're gonna have to solder everything all together, but it's gonna give you all the hardware and all the parts to build this yourself. Now, the caveat with it being a dev kit is you're still gonna have to upload all the software to it yourself. We're gonna have a pretty concise guide on how to download the program, how to flash it to the chip, how to customize any settings you might want, i.e. what stocks you want it to track, what time zone you're in. All that will have to be configured in the code, but it is going to be a lot more accessible than having to build it all up from scratch. This dev kit will be a perfect fit for people who want to contribute to the project and just need hardware to work on it with, or for somebody that wants to build this and wants to have it on their desk but isn't afraid of getting their hands dirty and kind of diving into the code. Now, after the dev kits have been out for a few months, the kind of next step is we're going to be building what's called a web app for these things, basically to the point where I'll be able to sell effectively this little setup, but pre-configure the chips such that you can set up this whole thing from your phone without having to flash any software on it. I don't really know any timelines at this point, but that's kind of what we're working towards. That might change. Price-wise, I'm not really sure how everything's gonna land. The dev kits will probably be in the like $30 to $50 range, depending on shipping and all that and blah, blah. Still trying to figure it all out, but my goal is to make this affordable and accessible. We've already built a pretty incredible community around all this stuff. There's a lot happening on the dev and code side of things. Literally everybody in there is way smarter than me. So grateful for everybody helping out there. If you do want to contribute to this project, you could shoot me a DM or an email here on TikTok and I will add you into the GitHub and Discord. I want to keep that pretty tight-knit for now. If you do want to purchase one of these dev kits when they come online, when they come available for sale, the best thing you do is I have an email at the top of my bio. If you click on that and enter your email to that list, you'll be first to be notified when these come in stock, so you can make sure you get your hands on one. It's been a busy 2 weeks. I'm so excited to see how this thing evolves. I'm so proud of how it's turned out and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.